Hello, everybody. I'm Don Counts. Welcome into Fayetteville Public Utilities, and this is the last day of the year. We have our CEO, General Manager Britt Dye. And Britt, we're going to look back at 2024 and then look into 2025 because we've had a lot going on, but I'm sure we're getting ready for a big 2025 here at FPU.
Yeah, we got a lot going on and already started for the new year, and a lot of more things coming up with system improvements.
We've seen a lot of changes in 2024, and I think we're envisioning more changes in 2025, and hopefully they're all going to be good. But let's talk about the utility overall. When we talk about utilities, we're talking about gas, water, electric, sewer, and telecom.
Yeah, and we made a lot of improvements over the last several years, actually, and we got a $30 million grant or SRF funds coming in after the first of the year to get started on some more water replacement, and then after we get done with that portion, we'll get back into some sewer replacements. Extended a lot of gas line up in the Fayetteville area and hooked up a lot of chicken houses, and it's all worked out for us so far. And then built a new 3-phase line down around Camargo. And telecom, we just keep expanding into the east part of the county right now.
Well, you mentioned in gas, one thing that we're seeing in the new year, the weatherman's expecting some colder temperatures. As we forecast what we're trying to expect in the gas world, it's kind of hard when we have a mild winter as we've had so far. So maybe this will help us out a little bit in that area.
Well, we definitely need some cold weather, because gas sales is based on cold weather because, like I said, through the summer and all, if you're just a lot of folks disconnect or take their pilot lights off and all those kinds of things. But it's coming because next week they're talking about it getting really, really cold, and it's going to be cold for a few days.
Absolutely. That's a hard thing to predict when you have to think about what the weather's going to do because none of us know, including the farmers, and that makes it difficult, but it definitely makes it difficult when you're forecasting gas sales for sure.
That's right, and it's just a volatile market right now.
Yep. All right, some things that we want to talk about. When you think about cold weather, you wouldn't think about tornadic weather, which we had this weekend, the storm that came through Athens, Alabama, came up through here. We had some problems, but we were able to get our problems kicked back on pretty quickly on the electric side.
We did. The biggest outage that we had was a little better than 500 customers, and it was on one circuit breaker out of the Blanche substation. So, we found it pretty quick. Big pine tree laying on the 3-phase line on Pepper Tap Road, and got it cleared up and got those people back on within, I think it was right at 45 minutes. But we did have some other outages and some other people that were out for, a few hours that we got part of it on, and then we didn't know somebody else was out until they did call in. Even though we got our advanced meter infrastructure, it just kept popping up, and so we was able to get those folks restored as well.
When we think about tornadic weather, we're usually thinking about April, spring. Now it's pretty much year-round.
Well, one of the biggest tornado outbreaks we had was one year on New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
So, a few years back, but it did happen.
That's right. Okay. One thing, too, that we want to talk about is we've made a few changes. We're not going to be taking electrical permits after today. That's
right. It all starts new tomorrow, and because you can do it all online and those kinds of things, and we feel like it's better for the customer. The state was moving in that direction, so now you can do everything online as far as getting your state permit bought for an inspection.
That's good. So we've got notices out on that, so that'll just a change for mainly the electricians, I guess.
That's correct.
Yeah. All right. One thing as we look back in September and October, FPU sent crews to Mountain Electric Cooperative and with the restoration from Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, and we sent 2 different crews. They was up there for a month, or a couple of days more than a month. But they saw some things that was just hard to believe. You could take pictures, but they said taking pictures it just doesn't do justice of what all happened up there, especially with the tragedy that they had in fatalities and those kinds of things.
One thing about photography too, those guys were on, I guess, mountainous areas, and photography really don't depict how steep the hills are that they were working in.
Yeah, they found out real quick. Sometimes you can get out of shape, but you don't know how bad you're out of shape. But
that's right.
they struggled, and because they were all their work was in the mountains, and the only way you could get to some of those locations, you had to walk everything in.
Yeah. Well, we also you headed up a campaign to get food, and we took, I know, one 18-wheeler full and some more food and water.
Yeah, I believe we ended up taking over 70,000 pounds worth of supplies up to that area to help those people in need.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Those people were in need, and I think we were talking the other day, they're still in some serious situation up there.
Yes, they are.
Sometimes when storms pass, we just move on to the next storm or problem, but these people are still dealing with it and will be dealing with it for probably years to come. Not to mention the loss of so many loved ones in that area too. All right, so as we move on, well, let's talk about something that is kind of recent. FPU has taken a lead role in employee safety, as you always do. You want us to come in every day. What's your word on that?
We want you to go home the same way you showed up for work that day.
That's right. And the Rural Electric Safety Achievement Program is something that you've been working with, and it's our second phase of this. I think we're one of the few co-ops, or not co-ops, but electric that's going through Zero Contacts Initiative.
Yeah, we were the second one. Actually, Middle Tennessee Electric was the first, and Fayetteville Public Utilities was the second one. There's only two in the state at this time, and we was proud to be one of those because, we're very, very aggressive in trying to be sure everybody works safe and get all the rules and the proper equipment to work with to do our job safe.
I know you worry about that every day, and we discuss it. We have safety meetings, and this program here is a good one to tell the guys to just continue to take your time, do the job right, but also be safe during the process.
Yeah, it was more in depth, meaning that some of the employees were actually interviewed during this process, and to see what all was needed. And then we had a meeting with the foremans, the lead linemen, those people that's in leadership positions, to be sure that you got everything you need to do your job. And what else do you think that we need to move forward and making it better of how we do those jobs?
Very good. Well, congratulations on Zero Contacts Initiative, and we're proud that we got that. FPU also hosted the Tennessee Board of Utility Regulation training here. You might talk a little bit about what that was and how good that was being here.
Well, the state requires a board member to have 12 hours of training, and you have to have those 12 hours, I think, within 3 years. But like if you're coming on now, you got to get that done pretty quick, and because they want to be sure that you got an idea about water, wastewater systems. It also covers the gas too. So, it's just 12-hour training. We had 8 hours that day that we held it here at the FPU, and then get the rest of the hours on the online getting certified.
Very good. Also, this past year, we hosted several civic groups, as we always do, from school organizations and things like that, but also we had the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, Leadership Lincoln, and also the Fayetteville Lincoln County Senior Center. We went out there, and I'm sure since we have a Quantian in the room now, we'll have Quantas here for too long.
Well, I would think so, because we had them 2 years ago, I believe we did, to go over everything and what FPU was doing. And, we like hosting those meetings, get the community involved. That way you got an idea of what actually goes on at the Fayetteville Public Utilities.
Absolutely. It's very important. We've also educated and informed a lot of the young folks through the Youth Leadership Summit and Washington Youth Tour, which is through the Tennessee Electric Cooperative Association, and a program that you started in 2010, the Student Utility Board. That's a good program, and we've been very successful with that one as well.
Yeah, we're really proud of the Student Utility Board, and it's a good recruiting process. If you have positions open, you got some ideal candidates that's very interested in doing what we do here. They get an opportunity to see everything that we do here, to see if you're interested in what we do. So it opens the doors, for some younger adults, I guess you can say, to come in and go to work.
And another program you started in that same tone is job shadowing. You might talk a little bit about that.
Well, job shadowing is where we have the kids all day now, certain days of the month, and they come in, they tell us what department they like to get some experience in, and so we work with them that whole day and show them the ropes of what actually happens in that job. You can't show them everything because the day doesn't get it, because we're all still learning.
Right.
And but they get very interested in it, and might see if that's the direction they want to go.
Get a good idea if it's what you like or what you don't like, and then on the same hand, it gives people an opportunity to see what we do in an 8-hour day. We also have internships, which you have interns in the building now during the, I guess, Christmas holiday season for people in college.
Yeah, we got Samantha here that's working in the accounting department, and we still got Navarez that I hope at some point in time makes a decision of coming to work for FPU, and we're trying to get him trained. He's finishing it up at UT Knoxville. So we're looking forward to the day that he ends up making the decision of what's he going to do. You know, he's real good at staking. He's real good at cybersecurity and those kinds of things, and we're just waiting to see what his direction is going to be.
Yeah, we hope he does come here for sure. And like you say, he's learned a lot over. He's got to learn different areas. But one thing too is you have the pre-apprentice programs. I think that's mainly in water. Is that correct?
The pre-apprentice program is in TAUD, but we also have pre-apprentice program in the electric side as well. So, you know, to be a journeyman lineman, and we got some employees that's going through that right now, and not that all of them make it all the time, but, you know, you really want to see what it takes to, whichever field you're in, you got to be sure that's what you want to do, and we try to give them a chance to see if that's what you want to do, and if it doesn't work out, that's just something that just wasn't made for you to do.
That's right. And in many cases, you give them other opportunities and other areas here at FPU, because there is a lot of different directions you can go here, and that's a good opportunity. Something I know you've been working on for a long time, it's just now hitting the bills, and that's the new redesign of our bill. It looks really good. I mean, mainly now, you know, you got this big circle with tells you what you owe. It's just mainly all I want to see. What's my number? But in this case, it's a lot of details that we didn't have in the other bill.
Yeah, I've looked for the circle of what I don't owe, but you know, that's what we all look at. But
right.
You know, it's a very good detailed bill.
It is.
That was something that our billing people had to go that direction because they had a server upgrades and that, so the old bill wasn't going to be put out anymore. You know, I've had questions about how much does the new bill cost. The new bill didn't cost us anything. It's just the design that we had to change. And actually, I think it's a lot more information for the customer to see.
Yeah, some things just have to upgrade. We had the other bill for quite some time, and it really looks good. And I compliment who all was working in that area to make that look as good as it does. October, Governor Lee appointed you to a board, Tennessee Board of Utility Regulations. Tell everybody what that is, what's involved in that. I know it's an honor to be involved in anything like that, but what's the board about?
Well, what this board does, they actually talk and discuss about, you know, if you got complaints on the water side or the sewer or any other utility that's involved with the T-board, and, you know, but now they're trying to merge a lot of different systems together. And then, you know, their job is to be sure that everybody's on the same page, nobody gets hurt out of the merger and those kinds of things. But, you know, it's a challenge for me. I hope, you know, that I serve them well, and I look forward to participating on this board.
Well, you've experienced many of those things, including total consolidation, plus as we're in the process now of working through the Petersburg issue. You might talk a little bit about what's happening there.
Well, right now, you know, we're making progress on the Petersburg merger, and it goes back to the city, the next city alderman meeting, and we'll see if they sign off on a different agreement, because we're revising it every time we turn around, and we might have to revise it again. But, you know, we got to be on the same page. We got to work together to make it work. And it's like the comptroller's not really giving you much of an option not to make it work. So we're trying to do what's best for everybody.
Yeah, you work with the comptroller a good bit. It's good to have a good relationship there too, because as you say, they're the ones making the call, and sometimes we just got to do what we got to do.
That is correct.
Let's talk about this year. Looking back again, this year we installed 2 electric vehicle charging stations in downtown Fayetteville. That's been a plus for our community, for people who have electric vehicles, a place for them to charge as they're coming through town.
Yes, it was a good project for us to get done. It's on the west side of the square behind the buildings, and you know, if we can just keep those that's not charging now the charging spots, it would help us out tremendously, because some folks come in there to charge and they can't get to the charging station because there's other cars that's not electric vehicles that's parked there.
It's clearly marked not to park there unless you are an electric vehicle, and there's only 2 spots. So I hope people will respect that. We also, you mentioned this already a little bit, we extended some natural gas lines. One area, of course, you mentioned Watermill Road, but also down at Philpott.
Yes, we'll be working on that next, actually.
That's coming
and
up. Okay.
that's coming up, and to get started on that project too.
All right. We also continue to expand broadband services. That's currently, I think they were in Shady Grove and Elora, now moving into Quarters Crossroads in the Flintville area.
Yeah, on the east part of the county, and it's taking a little bit more time on this build, and the reason being is because when you got a contractor doing the work, they have to find people to do other parts of the job that it takes to get the fiber spliced up and those kinds of things. But when you get close to this time of year with the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, you just can't find people who want to come in and get the job done. And so we're running a little behind, and we hope maybe first next week all that'll change.
Yep, things will definitely kick in. But when you're looking at the entire build, when do you think it will be completed? You think 2025 or 26? So what's your thinking?
I'm going to say right now it's going to be the latter part of 25 into 26.
Then
I mean, we're still ahead of schedule as of right now.
Then what's next at that point?
The city.
Okay.
Because we're already looking at we are designing the city now for fiber build. If you remember back when we went into the business cable, that was the first part that we built. Was it through the entire city? I think it was a little over 100 miles actually. And so we'll be getting ready to replace and install fiber around the city.
When you think about what we've done with the telecom through internet throughout the county, it's a huge operation. But I can imagine the city will even be bigger because there's just so much congestion here with the old system up there. I guess it will have to come down and a new system go up, or
well, there will be some areas where you just relash. Sometimes the labor costs you more than anything, and if we can get into areas where we just relash the fiber where the coax is, that's what we'll end up doing. But it might be where we got to wreck out some of the old system to get the new system installed.
Very good. FPU's made some extensive upgrades and improvements in the electric and water and wastewater infrastructures as well this year, and I'm sure that's an ongoing, continual situation there.
Yeah, it's always ongoing. The water and wastewater, I'll always say that, the system is really old, and there's lots of parts of town that we hadn't even got to yet, and it's going to take a lot of time to get it done. It takes a lot of funding to get it done, and like I said, we got some big projects supposed to last next 3 years, I think, on the water side. So it'll help out a lot of areas of the direction that we're moving, and that's what we got to do is keep improving the quality of water.
Absolutely. We have had a busy year. We've hosted customer appreciation events throughout the county. That was a very good thing to basically bring FPU to the community, something you've been wanting to do, and we got to work through that this year.
Yeah, we had several parts of the county where we did this, and it was mainly to do this is to show you all the services that we offered, what's available in your area, especially when we was building the new fiber backbone infrastructure in those areas. And it's really, really good. You meet some real pleasant people that really appreciate everything that we do, and that makes you really feel good. And the employees participated as well, and they got to hear those good comments as well.
That's right. Some people got to come out and see the thing that we take for granted, that we have lights when we flip the light on, or we have water when the water comes on, and we just take that for granted, that it's always there, but there's always somebody behind the scenes to make that happen. And we appreciate all of our employees and appreciate you leading the way to keep that going. One thing that we had that we do, a lot of the things that we do for the community is we raise money with the ribeye sandwich sale. We had a big ribeye sandwich sale. That gives us opportunity to help give money to communities.
We do. We take in some funds that, the employees participate in to raise funds for these that's underserved, I guess you can say, to some degree. But it's just like Christmas gifts. These, I think we had 32 blessing bags yesterday that we give to Miss Tina down at the Hands of Mercy. And, it makes you really feel good when you can help the community out like that.
Yeah, she told a story yesterday. We learned we also teamed up with TVA to distribute LED light bulbs. to families receiving and also receiving food from Hands of Mercy. And again, we take for granted that we have light bulbs, but everybody might not. And it was a good thing that we was able to give some out.
Well, we all think that sometimes we really got it bad, but if you get out in our community and just talk to people and get involved in these kind of fundraisers and giving back to the community, you find out real quick that, we don't have it as bad as some others around here.
Absolutely. And in that same line, in October, we assisted with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, which is through Hands of Mercy Outreach. We built 50 beds out on the street. All of us got together and we had a lot of help, but it made you feel really good to be able to help local children during this annual day of service.
Yeah, I was telling Miss Tina a story about, when we was building these beds. I remember back when my family, we were raised in the projects, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm very proud of how I was raised because it taught me a lot. And we had 4 boys and 2 girls, and 4 boys was in one room, and all you had in the floor was a mattress because you couldn't get nothing else in there. So, when you come from places like that, the main thing is don't ever forget where you come from.
Absolutely. And we had an opportunity of helping build those beds, and that made you feel really good to work with them for sure. Another thing that we did, we hosted the Veterans Appreciation Breakfast, where we awarded $20,000 to the Friends of Fayetteville Lincoln County Veterans Incorporated. That was through FPU and TVA. And I know you were proud to do that. And we had a really good turnout of folks come in for us to give appreciation.
Yeah, we did. We had a great turnout. And, we really appreciate the veterans participating with us. And we were really proud to do that. And I'm not sure that we won't be doing it again.
Today's the last day of Harvest of Hope, where we're benefiting those who receive food from the Good Samaritan Association. We appreciate all those who've contributed over the years. Britt, this program goes way back, and you had some friends from the Delrose Hot Rock FCE Club come by. They come by every year, and I know you appreciate those ladies.
Oh, absolutely. They always bring in several can items, and, that's what they do is to help everybody in the community as well to do that. And we got other organizations that help, and many customers bring several canned foods in here for us to distribute out to help the community.
We also work with the Rotary Club and the Oak Valley Times and the fire department with the toy drive. You might mention what our job is in that role.
Well, in the toy drive, we actually take the tractor trailer truck out to each place where they go shop, and they store all the items in the trucks, and then after it's all that's done, then we meet somewhere and we deliver or help the fire department deliver the toys to the people that come in and get those that's less fortunate of having those kind of items.
Those organizations really appreciate our assistance during that process because without that, having a truck driver and moving that stuff around is very difficult. Let's talk about, look back, let's talk about some of the plans you've got for 2025.
Well, I know that we're going to be looking back at our strategic plan. We have a lot more 3-phase lines we got to get changed out. We got more gas lines that we're going to be putting in and replacement. Same thing on the water and wastewater. And as long as we can keep getting some grant funds on the telecom side, we're going to still be expanding that as well. I know that we're looking at a battery project for storage on peak shaving when it comes time of working with TVA, because I don't know what direction for sure that TVA is going to be moving in the future as far as what the rates are going to be looking at. And I know that they got a lot of maintenance and upgrades to do as far as small modular reactors that they're trying to get approval for to get installed to help the power grid to have more power available. And, we're doing it. We got to do the same thing. But, if we got the power, we have to be sure that what we have is available that we can serve our customers too.
I know that's key to, we have, what year was it that we had to do rolling power outages, and that's because we didn't have enough power to roll. So this is what you're talking about here.
That is correct. We didn't have enough from TVA. Right. FPU didn't have the problem. Right. TVA was the ones that was running short on being able to provide, because they had some instruments that went down during the freezing cold. They also had some equipment that, that froze up. But, that we didn't have it this past year. They made a lot of corrections. They made a lot of improvements that helped the entire grid. And, anytime you have cold weather like that, you will find where your weak spots are that you're unaware of. It's going to happen with any utility infrastructure that you have.
Well, we're looking forward to improving the services that we offer for our customers and strengthening our community. And 2025 coming up real recent in the next few weeks. FPU will be closed on New Year's Day, which is tomorrow as we're recording this on the 31st. Also Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January the 20th. But our dispatchers are available 24/7. This weekend during the storm, it's a prime example of having someone here to call on to find out exactly what's going on. I know that's important, and not every utility has that.
That's correct. And, they have a third party that answers the phone. We don't, we try to have a live person that you talk to. And not only that, we have crews that's on call 24/7 during all the holidays or any day of the year. And, we're ready to roll with whatever may happen. It might take a little while to get you on or get the water back running or whatever, but there's always a reason why. If you don't have service, there's a good reason why you don't have service.
Absolutely. Well, Britt Dye, our CEO, General Manager, we appreciate it. Anything else before we go?
I wish everybody a happy New Year, safe holidays, and I appreciate all the work that our employees do as well here at FPU, because they're very dedicated and dependable.
Absolutely. I'm proud. Thank you very much. We appreciate you watching each month as we do the CEO General Manager update here on YouTube and all the other places that we put this on our social media. We thank you for watching. I'm Don Counts. We'll see you back in here next month.